get something that nobody can take from you. And part of that something is what goes into your head, and I call it education. When we're talking the degrees, I now have 3 master's degrees. No one will ever take that from me. What I do with it is up to me.
Right.
But I have that. Secondly, don't you ever be so bold or be so uninformed that to think that because I am a female or I'm a male or I'm this color or that color or this reason that I'm better or I'm worse off. That's ignorance. Well, yeah, and I'd actually call it stupidity because we know better, and there's a difference between ignorance and stupidity. And don't you dare, because it comes down to how you perform and what you do with what you have. And if you're not bringing something back to the table that's going to further the human spirit, that's going to help out our nation and our country and keep it strong, and then, oh, by the way, bring others along to help them out, then, you know, I think you're really wasting your time.
What are you living for?
Absolutely. You've got to aim high.
What tomorrow's emotions will bring. Captain Jeff Sapp knows. He was an All-American, first African-American Navy co-captain.
The Academy did not give up on me. They did not let me fail. And when I wanted to quit not once but 3 times, they said, no, you're better than that.
No protest from some Chicago students who learned anything is achievable. Captain Jeffrey Sapp, a noted motivational speaker and director at the U.S. Naval Academy, drove the message home today. More than 150 8th and 9th graders were all ears today. This event was held downtown at the Chicago Marriott Hotel, sponsored by the organization called Reach for Tomorrow, which attempts to open students' eyes to the possibilities of the future by using successful role models such as the captain. Quite the show.
Retired naval midshipmen were at a Philadelphia high school today. They were encouraging students to consider a career in the Navy. The action cam here at Ben Franklin High School this afternoon as the advantages of a Naval Academy were presented to a community art student. 3 months ago, a parent and considered the department to come to the school after he expressed a disappointment in the lack of minority students who qualify as Academy visitors.
What I heard about you was really an understatement. What you did today was something I have never had a speaker sit in here and do. You kept the attention of these students for an hour. As they sat here and they listened, and I know they appreciate it.
Really motivate you.
And you've been doing a great job going out through all of the, I think you've been through 3 of the school systems, the Fulton County school system, Atlanta. Impressed with your with the workshop that you did, and you go through these antics with the young people, and it really is eye-catching, and it's very sobering to see you talk about the effects of balancing the alcohol with driving. Right. So you really do an excellent job on making someone want to not drive and drink. We should make a commercial.
A defensive lineman at the Naval Academy who still doesn't know he may be too small to play in the defensive.
If he could do it, I could do it, or else, you know, it gives those young kids a little bit of self-pride, something to work at. And I feel that my exposure to the people across the country in my position that I'm in, especially being black, I have the opportunity to instill this in some, you know, young children, because that's where it all starts, with the young kids. And I hope that I'll be able to reach some of them and say, well, hey, you may be black, but that doesn't mean that you're worse than anybody else in this nation. Just hold your head up and try to be proud. Jeffrey Sapp is a person who wants to see some type of justice and equality for other people. He's a man who doesn't really care about the sacrifices he must make to get these rights for these people. I have a great love for really all the beauty that's around us, and I enjoy it, and that's how I want to set my life, to enjoy it. So a person who wants to enjoy life, who loves football, who loves people.
I want you to know he was an average student, a C student,
who now holds 3 master's degrees and is a doctoral candidate.
In essence, he's just a very unusual young man with high goals and with the ability and the perseverance to achieve those goals.
When I graduated, I said, I'm never, ever going to come back here. But it's a funny thing with time. Suddenly you realize everything had a purpose. And if you trace it all the way back, it starts on the football field.